Happy Wednesday, ladies and gents. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday morning. It's a nice Wednesday morning. You already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. It's Whopper Wednesday or $5 Sushi Wednesday if you got a Publix. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. How you guys doing? How are you wonderful, wonderful people doing today? I'm just chilling today. Woo! It's a beautiful day. It's another beautiful day. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yes, sir. All right, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Getting everything all set up and ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Just getting all the announcements out, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting all the announcements out. How is everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just getting all the announcements out and ready to go over here. All the announcements. Announcements. There we go. Boom. Right there. Beautiful. All right. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're just enjoying another day on the beautiful planet Earth and taking a look at RITR. Taking a look at RITR today. RITR Logitech Holdings Limited, right, which is a Hong Kong stock, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Hong Kong stock right here. It is a beautiful, beautiful. Well, I wouldn't say beautiful for Hong Kong stocks. Hong Kong stocks are like, you know what I mean? They tend to be a little bit iffy, but it has been running up 126%. It ran up a nice 126%. YXT as well has been running. It ran up a nice 286%, so we'll be getting into that as well. But yes, RITR, this is a Hong Kong stock, ran up a nice 126%. 126% over here. Hold on just a second. Just getting everything all fixed over here. Right, give me a second. All right. Because it's doing the glitchy thing there in the description. There we are. Ooh. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. We're just chilling right now. Getting all these announcements out here, and we should be good. Yeah, we should be good. We should be good, good, good. All right. Yep. There we are. It's just a beautiful day. There we go. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just chilling right now. YXT is running up 297%. So we're going to take a look at that one. Let's just take a look at RITR real quick. RITR. RITR appeared on our private Discord scanner, and prior to its run up 126%. Right. And as of now, with this stunk right here, let me zoom in the room here. All right. It had a nice little run earlier today. Had this little run, bop, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Tiny pennant right here. And then another pennant where it curled right over here and formed a bit of a descending wedge. There we go. There we go. Needs to break this descending wedge right over here, just above the VWAP for it to be so much mexy to me. Marty says, hello, Banger Nation. Good morning, Doubles. Good morning, Marty. Good morning, good morning. Bobo Beep says, howdy. Howdy, Bobo. He says, hearing you leave a Charlie. Copy that, Bobo. Yes, sir. He said, what's up to Marty as well. There we go. There we go, Banger Nation. There we go. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're just chilling today. RITR needs to break the descending wedge. Needs to break above that descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. Alright. Has to break above the 28 cent mark right there. Marty says, good morning, Bobo and Dude. And Dude. I don't know who Dude is, yes, but good morning, Dude. Whoever Dude is, yes. Dude is on YouTube?
Yeah, no, YXT explodes. On YouTube.
What? Oh. Hey.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Anyways. But, yeah, no. RITR has to hold above 28 cents. Needs to break the resistance line at 31 cents for it to be schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. Let's take a look at YXT. YXT ran up a nice 297%. YXT. YXT. Alright, had a nice shot upward over here. Let me just get this orange juice right here. Woo, that's that stuff right there. Okay, so YXT had a nice shot upward over here, formed a bit of a descending wedge right over here. Needs to break above it for it to be so much mexy to me. So, YXT, as of now, YXT needs to break the descending wedge and the resistance line at needs to break that resistance line at $8.64. $8.64. The stop it appeared on our private Discord scanner this morning. Prior to its run up 297%. There we go. 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 So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nick on Facebook says, good morning, Doubles. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. But yes, YXT has to break that $8.64 resistance line, which it has. Needs to break above $9.94. Needs to break above the descending wedge as well. And then 1206, which is a high a day. It had a nice run up 297%. It appeared on the private Discord scanner this morning prior to its run up 297%. So we had that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. So yeah, that's what we have going on. All right, all right, all right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. Let me see here. Boom. Wonderful. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. Alright, there we are. There we are. But yes, YXT looks to be trying to break above the 864 mark and has to break above 994 and then 1206, which is the high of day, for it to be somewhat schmaxy to meow. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, so it has to break above those little areas there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Joab says, good morning, Banger Nation. Good morning to you, Joab. Good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a fantastic day today, Joab. Hope you're making lots of money. CNN Banger Nation says, good morning, Banger Nation. Good morning. The Banger Nation on TikTok says, good morning, Banger Nation right there. A lot of guys saying good morning on the TikTok, the tac. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. But yes, good morning, Joab. Hope you're having a wonderful day. All right. So, as of now, all right, let's take a look. YXT. YXT needs volume. All right, needs more volume to break above that resistance at $8.64 and hold above it right there. So, YXT needs volume to break the resistance at $8.64 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. That's YXT. Let's take a look at CISS. CISS has a 24 million float, 6 million volume, so the float is extremely heavy. It needs to break the downtrend as well, right over here. So CISS, this is a Greek stock, currently up 54%, needs volume to break the downtrend, and the VWAPA at 15 cents right there. CISS needs volume to break the downtrend, and the VWAPA at 15 cents. For it to be somewhat schmexy to me, that's CISS right there. CISS. Let's take a look at GTE. GTE. Now, GTE is a Canadian stock, up 47%, with news that Grand Tierra Energy shares are trading higher after the company reported mixed Q2 financial results and announced the sale of its Colombia and Ecuador operations to Morel and Prom for $1.33 billion right there. They did have a conference call scheduled for today at 11 a.m. and Q2 earnings were released today before the market opened. So they got that going on right there. And it's on a slight uptrend, just a slight uptrend, nothing crazy. A slight little uptrend right there. GTE has a heavy float, light volume right there. So let's take a look over here. Let's put this over here. GTE, heavy float and light volume. All right. Slight curl upwards. All right. And let's get some support and resistance lines over here. All right. Needs to break the high of day. Needs volume to break the high of day at $10.77 for it to be so much schmexy to me. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get a share party going here. Let's take a look at DBGI. DBGI is an American stock, up 72%. Has news that Digital Brands Group shares are trading higher after the company announced it received a takeover offer at $77.58 per share from a current shareholder. All right, this stock is a bit pricey already. It's 35.05 cents right there. So you got that going on right there. Unconfirmed Q2 earnings due in 12 days on Monday, August 17th, after the market close. So they got that going on right there. That is what they got going on for DBGI. 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 Alright. Has a low float with lower volume. Low float and lower volume. Alright, moving slightly upward. Moving upward slightly. Up 73%. Up 73%. Needs volume to remain friends with the trend. Alright, and let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Needs to break above 41.22. Needs to break 41.22 resistance line. And yeah, I mean, oh yes, expensive. Bit of an expensive stock right there. A little bit expensive right there. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see. We shall see. All right. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going on. Let's get a share party going on. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 300. 300. 300. 300. Alrighty. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Let's take a look. Let's see how RITR is holding up. RITR. RITR still needs to break above the descending wedge. Still needs to break above the descending wedge and the resistance line at 28 cents for it to be so much maxi to me. Yes. Alright. Alright. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Hold on 1 second. 1 second right here. Let me just take a look at this right here. Let me get the requests up. Okay. Someone requested INLF. INLF. Alrighty, taking a look at INLF. INLF. Alright. INLF currently on a slight uptrend over here. Go but pulling back. It has a massive pullback over here. Might potentially be a descending wedge, but that's a majorly pullback right there. That's a nice little pullback. So honestly, I wouldn't be too fond of it. INLF, there's a China stock up 29%. Right, pulled back immensely. Possible descending wedge, but honestly, that kind of just seems like, you know, that seems like kind thinking really with this. It is below the VWAP at $4.34, so INLF not exactly on the schmexy list for me. INLF. All right, let's take a look at the float and volume. Float is 1,047 million. Oh, actually, 1,047 million. Oh boy, Jesus, that is not a number. Okay, bleh. I cannot English today. 1 million and change. 1.047 million. 1,047 million. Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah. All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. I have not had the morning orange juice yet. Okay, let me just drink this real quick. Hold on. I have not had the morning orange juice yet, ladies and gentlemen. I just said 1,047 million. That gives you an idea. Give me a second. Oh, that's that stuff. Oh my gracious. For most people, it's morning coffee. For me, orange juice. Float. The float is 1 million, and the volume is
Let's like up the stream and
4
share it.
million and change. Yes, let's like up the stream and share it.
Let's like up the stream and share it.
Uh-huh. And the volume is 4 million and change. Wow. Alright. Float is 1 million, volume is 4 million and change. So the volume is actually okay on it. It's alright, you know what I mean? It is higher than the volume is higher than the float, so that's pretty good. But you know what I mean? Not schmexy. Because I mean, it's still, yes, the volume's higher, but it's 28% and it is still below that VWAP. So it's not exactly schmexy in my book. Alright. INLF needs to break the VWAP at $4.34. Had a pullback prior to testing. The VWAPA needs volume to curl and break it for it to be so much schmexy to me. That's INLF. Let's take a look at DBGI. DBGI still curling its way on up slightly. Had a nice little movement up 97%. DBGI. Curled upwards and hit a nice and broke above the resistance at 41.22 temporarily. Went up 97%. So yeah, that's what we got going on right there. DBGI right there. DBGI curled upwards and broke the resistance at 41.22 temporarily. Went up 97%. So there we go. There we have it right there. There you have it. Right there. Hold on. And yeah. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. So we got that going on. Beautiful. Beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, let's like up the stream. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get the 500. Let's get the 500, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the 500 right there. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. Ooh. All right. All right. Ooh. There we are. Stephen Kara says, "Good morning. Please tell me about GME." Sure. I'll take a look at it right now. Let's take a look. GME. All right. Obviously, this is GameStop. So let me break it down for you over here real quick. So first things first, you got this right over here. All right. A lot of indecisive wicks in here. A lot of indecisive wicks. All right. You got a lot of indecisive wicks here. You got a lot of indecisive wicks here. All right. And then you got more over here. And then you have a lot of choppy price action actually all over here. So let me just put this over here, make this better. A lot of choppy and indecisive price action over here, which normally signifies that this is a very low float, actually, excuse me, heavy volume, low floated stock, or at the very least that the volume is extremely low. So we're going to take a look at it real quick. All right, we're going to take a look. Obviously, the float is extremely heavy. It is 409 million. Volume is currently 54,000. I'm going to call it 54,000. It's 53.7, but call it 54,000 right there. So the float is extremely heavy. Volume is extremely light on the stock. And as of now, it really has a lot of choppy price action going on here. It's a whole lot of chop right here. So that basically means that it's not looking too schmexy to me, right? Very choppy, very heavy float, very light volume for GME. Not particularly schmexy to me as of now for GME. GME, very heavy float and very light volume. Expensive as of now. All right. Choppy price action with indecisive wicks, not looking too schmexy to me. So, not schmexy. YXT as of now, let's take a look over here at YXT. YXT is currently curling its way on up. Currently curling its way on up to 275% right there. All right, currently curling its way to 275%. All right, needs to break the resistance at 994. YXT curled up slightly. To 278%. 278% right there. Curled up slightly to that. Needs to break the resistance at line at $9.94. Right, for it to be so much schmexy to me. Needs to break 994. Needs to break 994. Can it break the higher day? We shall see. Higher day is currently at $12.06. $12.06. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see. We shall see. All right. All right. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. All right. So yes. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scans for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. All right, so yeah, be sure to check out that 4-day trial. All right. Again, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, ladies and gentlemen. As well as that pinned comment section. There we go. There we are. Beautiful. All right. All right. Ooh, wait. Let me check and see if we're live on the Facebook. We should be live on the Facebook. We should be. Let me double check. Oh, yes. Good. All right. So we got that going on right there. Yes, sir. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out. Check out our merch. We got all sorts of wonderful, beautiful things, ladies and gentlemen. All sorts of wonderful, beautiful stuff at the merch store. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have lids. When I say lids, I mean hats. We have all sorts of other cool stuff, like, for example, mouse pads. We have stickers. We have cup and handles, aka mugs. We have all sorts of other cool stuff, like, for example, tumblers. All that wonderful stuff and more, ladies and gentlemen, all of which can be accessed by clicking the link in the description down below or the pinned comment section and just getting the stuff right there and showing some support to the Banger Nation, ladies and gentlemen. Showing some love to the community, some support to the Banger Nation. Yes, sir. All right. And of course, be sure to check out our new 3-month package, charged at a discounted rate of $66.67 per month, charged quarterly. So be sure to check that out as well. For a limited time only, that will be around. So be sure to check it out while supplies last. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you never know when that limited time offer can go away. It's limited time. Yes. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right, let's take a look at SHPU. SHPU. What's going on with SHPU? Direction Daily Shop. This is an ETF, number 1. Number 2, currently on a bit of a downtrend here. Ooh, let me just put this over here. Ooh, had to make a nice stretch over there. Alright, SHPU needs to break the downtrend. SHPU needs to break the downtrend, needs to break $18.27 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. SHPU needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA at $18.27. All right. So there we go. There we are. All right. And let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 800. 800, 800, 800. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. Let me get the requests over here. 1 second. 1 second. Someone requested RITR Turkey. All right. We will take a look at RITR. Let's take a look. 17 million float, 257 million volume right here. RITR had a nice run earlier in the day, up 126%. Has since pulled back down a little bit and now looks to be forming a bit of a descending wedge. Needs to break above 26 cents though for it to be so much maxi to me. So we'll see what happens there. Can it break above 26 cents? We shall see. We shall see. All right, but as of now, it has been pulling back quite a bit, forming a bit of a descending wedge. Needs to break 26 cents. All right, so RITR as of now, can it curl and break the descending wedge? Needs to break the resistance line at 26 cents and hold above the VWAP at 25 cents for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. And really, it's going to need to curl up higher than that. But right now, we're just going to aim for 26 cents and then see where it goes from there. All right. But right now, yep, it broke above 26 cents. Next line it would have to do once it holds up above 26 cents is 28 cents, then 31, then, of course, 36. So we got that going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what else we got here, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got? What else we got? Let's see. All right. Next up is going to be BJDX, 972,000 afloat and 25 million volume right there. So we're going to take a look at BJDX, BJDX, BJDXA, EXA. There we go. So BJDX had a bit of a curl up over here, formed a bit of a descending wedge over here, and then curled its way on up off the descending wedge. Needs to break the VWAP at $1.46 right there. BJDX. BJDX curled off the descending wedge and needs to break above the VWAPA at $1.46 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. That's BJDX right there. BJDX. We shall see what happens there. All right. Let's take a look over here. See what else we got over here. Let's see what else we got. INLF, someone requested that again. Let's take a look at INLF, see how it's doing. INLF had a nice little curl, slight curl. Up 35%. Okay. Formed a bit of a resistance line right over here at $4.40. INLF curled slightly off the descending wedge. All right. INLF curled slightly off the descending wedge, formed, broke VWAP, but formed a new resistance at $4.41 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Alright, it has to break above that resistance line right there. That's what it has to do for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright, so now that's done there. Let's take a look at BJDX. BJDX. Alright, BJDX had a nice little slight curl there. Needs to break this little consolidation right over here. Alright. Let's see what other stocks we got here. So we got BJDX. Not looking too schmexy. Needs to break that resistance. Hasn't even broke a VWAP yet for BJDX. BJDX. Alright, let's take a look at AMIX. 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 Which has since curled up slightly and formed a bit of a pennant. Still down 32% right there. So not particularly schmexy to me. Not schmexy. Consolidated below the VWAP. AMIX consolidated below the VWAP at $13.76. Needs to break the pennant and VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, but not looking too schmexy as of now. Alright. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? YXT seems to be crawling up a little bit. Alright. YXT, oh my, 306. YXT now up 306%. Oh my. Woo! There we go. Now we're talking. YXT. YXT now up 319%, 323. YXT now up 323%, 323%. Alright. Still needs to break high day at 1206. Boom. Alright. Alright. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. Hold on 1 second. Alright, 329%. Alright. There we go. Now up 329% on YXT. YXT pulling back a little bit. Had a nice little movement going on there. All right. All right. Okay. So, there's that right there. SHPU. Going to take a look at SHPU. Abdul Rahman asks for DBGI. Most definitely. We'll take a look at DBGI. Let me take a look at DBGI then. We'll take a look at DBGI. Let's see. DBGI had a nice run. Pulled back below the VWAP right there. Possible descending wedge forming, maybe, but I'm not entirely trusting it. We'll see what happens. Has to hold above and break above 33.18. Has to hold above 33.18 for it to be somewhat Shemexi Tumya. Has to break above 36.77. Needs to break above the VWAP as well at 35.99 right there. So, let's see here. DBGI needs volume to break the resistance at 33.18. Alright, needs to break that resistance. Alright, and it doesn't really look like it's a descending wedge, to be honest. It looks more like a downtrend to me. This looks more like a downtrend. Needs to break the downtrend. And the downtrend needs to break that downtrend at $33.18. Needs to break the downtrend in the V and the resistance lines at $33.18. Has to break above 36.77. Has to break above the VWAP at 35.93 and then 36.77. Ooh, had a nice stretch there. And then, of course, 41.22. And then the high a day, which is all the way up here at 48.42. So we got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on right there. Woo! All right, let's see. DBGI not looking schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. So we got that going on right there. Let's take a look at INLF. INLF just shot up like a rocket just now. Price spike on INLF up 94%, 95% right there. INLF price spike. Price spike. All right. INLF price spike. Let's get the support and resistance lines over here. Up 96%. Needs to break the resistance line at the high day, actually. Needs to break the high day, which is also resistance. High day at $6.59. $6.59 has to break above that for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Alright, alright, alright. 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 Alright, alright, alright. Alright, let's see here. we got going on? Hold on. Taking a look over here. Taking a look over here. YXT. YXT. Let's take a look at YXT. See how it's doing. YXT. Gonna take a look at YXT here. It's you know what I mean? It's Formed a bit of a resistance over here while on that uptrend, pulling back. All right. YXT currently as of now, has to hold above 994, break above this new resistance at 1096, and break above the high of day at 1206 for it to be schmexy to mya. So that's YXT as of now. YXT. Abdul Rahman says, thanks. Of course, man. Of course. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. All right. Let's see here. All right. One sec. Let's take a look over here. All right. Just keeping an eye on the stonk right here. Yep. Has to break above 1096. 1096 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. That's YXT. Then has to break the high of day at 1206 right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. There we go. Give me 1 second. Let me just take a look at something real quick. All right. All right. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. All right. So now that we have that going on, let's take a look over here at. All right. Let me just write this here. YXT. YXT. All right. Hold on 1 sec. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. You just put this over here. Oof, YXT pulled back. YXT had a little bit of a pullback there. But it did have a nice run earlier. Ran up a nice 300% and then some, 306% right there. Yeesh. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Had to fix that right there. Give me 1 second. YXT, YXT. Night Rogue says, good morning, doubles. Good morning. Good morning, Night Rogue. Hope you're having a wonderful day, man. Hope you're having a wonderful day. YXT needs volume to break above the $9.94 resistance line. Had that going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. INLF, INLF. INLF shot up like a Dickens, hit 128%. INLF hit 132% right there. INLF shot up like a rocket just now. 133%. Well, I hit 136. 136%. 137. There we go. There we go. 138. INLF shot up like a rocket. up 138%. It appeared on our private Discord scanner, which it did right there. It appeared on our private Discord scanner prior to the run today. Boom. Alright. Alright. So, needs to break resistance at $7.20. $7.20 for it to be so much maxi to mya. That's INLF. INLF. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Hold on one sec. There we are. Alright. Beautiful. Alright, alright, alright. Beautiful. There we go. Bobo Beeb says, what's up, Rogue? Yes. Yes, what is up, Rogue? How you been, man? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Alright. So you got that going on right there. Needs to break that 771. It needs to break the high. It's peaking above that. It's peaking above it slightly. That slight peak, ladies and gentlemen. That slight peak right there. That slight peak right there. Alright. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, on our Discord, we even have something called the Banger Nation server tag. Alright, basically what you do is you go to user settings, profiles, edit profile, and then you click the server tags and select Banger, BNGR, to represent the Banger Nation across the Discord and show love. You know what I mean? To show love. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is for the Banger Nation collective. You know what I mean? The collective there. The collective. We are like the Borg, ladies and gentlemen. We're like the Borg. We are many, you are one. Type deal. Is that the Borg? I think that's the Borg. I think so. I don't know. I didn't watch as much Star Trek as I did Star Wars. You know? I mean, was it the Borg? Was that what they were called? Yes, that was the Borg. All right. They had the Borg, and then they had I will be merciful and quick. What was that called?
The Gorn.
The Gorn.
How do you forget the Gorn?
No, not the Gorn. No, I was talking about the Borg. We are many, you are one. And then I started thinking about the Gorn.
No, they are one.
Yeah, and
they are many, but they are one.
They're a hive mind. Yes, they're like a collective, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a hive mind. It's like it's like the flood in Halo.
Yeah.
It's like the flood in Halo. They're like a big hive mind of, or like the the Terminids in Helldivers, or the Tyranids in Space Marine, Warhammer 40K. Yeah, they're like a hive mind. They like big singular brain controls many bodies type of deal. It's kind of cool. They are hive mind. Only one's robots and one's like bug monsters. Evil bug monsters. Evil. Oh yes, or like the Las Plagas in Resident Evil 4. Yeah, those things creep me out. Marty says good night, good morning, Night Rogue. I said good. I almost said good night, morning Rogue. No, good morning, Night Rogue. Yes, 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 yes. All right. That's that stuff right there. We got 10 minutes to the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Feel like something was put in this juice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nothing was put in the juice. Nothing was put in the juice. It's just morning doubles. You know how it is. But how's everybody doing today, man? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just chilling here. Just chilling, enjoying my day. You know how it be. You know how it be when you see me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ugh. There we are. Oh, goodness. Goodness me. Oh, that's the stuff right there. Little stretch in the back there. Ooh, had that crick. There we go. But yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So right now, we are just chilling right now. We're just chilling. How's everybody doing today, man? How are you guys doing? How's your morning going? Hope you guys are making lots of money. Hope you guys are doing your thing. All right? Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. What you guys get to do yesterday? Put it in the chat. I got to have tacos. I was a happy boy. Get to have my tacos. You can never go wrong with some tacos. You know what I mean? You can never go wrong with it. Can never go wrong with Taco Tuesday. Can never go wrong with it right there. We also found like these big bags, like these very big bags of like of chips, right? And thing is, right? Coach and I, we are suckers for chips and salsa. We are suckers for that stuff, right? So we had chips, right? We forgot to get the salsa. Well, we didn't forget. We thought we had enough salsa, right? But then DBL Moms and Mama Money used it for like for the taco recipe, right? They used it for tacos, right? So there we were, big old bag of chips, but there was no dip. It was a travesty, I tell you. It was a tragedy. That right there is more tragic than Romeo and Juliet there, or the Shakespeare, or yeah, no, that was tragic. That was more tragic than Romeo and Juliet right there. You know what I mean? You got chips but no dip. You know what I mean? Like that's just they sad. It's sad now. Although I do have the craving for nachos, so you know what? I might be making that for lunch. Might end up making that for lunch because we still got some cheese. We got some cheese, ladies and gentlemen, cheese. Yes, sir. Can never go wrong with some nice chips, right? Get a little bit of that ground beef with the taco seasoning right there. You know what I mean? A little bit of cumin, on that. You know, a little mixy, right? With a little bit of that wonderful salsa, some melted Mexican blend cheese, like 3 cheeses just melted on top. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Can never go wrong. Can never go wrong with that right there. One of the best nachos I had to have had. One of the best, not the best, but one of the best. Had to have been from Destin. It was like a seafood nacho recipe. So basically it was like nachos, right? And they had with it, they had seafood. So they had mussels, they had shrimps, right? They had like little bits and pieces of chopped up fish in there, right? And it was so good, right? They had jalapeno, they had all the good stuff, man. Can never go wrong with it. It was just so good, right? And they had like their signature spicy sauces on it. I'm like, ooh yeah. I didn't mind none of that. I tell you what. And you're just sitting there on the beach eating nachos. All right, it's a beautiful day. You're sitting there on the beach. You're eating nachos. Who's better than you? I don't know. Ain't nobody better than you at that point. I'll tell you what, you're just chilling. Look, that I'm pretty sure I just described almost every man's dream. Eat your favorite food on the beach. That is it. That is almost every man's dream. Or fishing. Fishing too. Fishing is another one. Fishing is another one. Or just sitting there watching the game. Whatever game of whatever preference of whatever sport that you want. Just sit there, watch the game, chill, and, have a cold one and you're good. Right? I think I, I actually had a very funny discussion, which is why I bring this up. Basically, one of my friends, as well as my girlfriend, asked me last night, what is it that every man pretty much dreams of doing? I'm not gonna lie. I gave her the answer. She was like, "Really?" All right. She asked me, "What is it that every man dreams of doing?" And I basically said, most of us, if not all of us, either dream of, depending on where we are or what we like, because there's a preference. There's a common denominator of we just want to sit there, chill, and just eat or drink something. That's it. You just want to sit there, chill, eat or drink something. Like it could be on the porch, right? It could be at the beach. It could be going fishing. It could be at a dock, right? Just sit there with a nice cold one. For me, it could be nachos, right? Nachos with some nice, well, a nice Foster's lager. You know what I mean? And some nachos and just chill there. You know what I mean? Just chill there, watching the waves hit the shore, just bing, and there I am, just chilling out with some nachos, and like some water, you know. Or if I'm feeling frisky, I don't, a nice lager, nice little Foster's, just chilling right there. That's it. that's the dream. And I asked a friend of mine, back me up here. He said, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of just want to do something similar, but I'm just on a boat in the bayou, just chilling, like boating around and fishing. That's it." I'm like, "Really? Fishing? Yeah, fishing. Just have a fishing rod out there, just chill, you know." He said honestly, I'd be chilling either. Like it depends on what I'm in the mood for, whatever chips or snacks I'm craving. Just chilling there, man. Just chilling there, watching, waiting for the fish to come in, right? On the boat, just chilling out. I'm like, see? Another friend of mine who lives in he lives in Alaska. He said he just wants to go ice fishing. He said he loves ice fishing. He used to do it with his father, like from when he was a wee lad, all the way to now. And he basically said, I just want to sit here, chill. Quite literally, it's cold out, but sit there with my old man, right? His old man was like a big cigar guy. His old man, so he's like just sitting there. His old man got a cigar. He's just chilling there, right? And they're just wait for the fish to start pulling on the string, and just just going in there and grabbing some fish. You know what I mean? And then having some nice fresh fish. That's what he likes to do. I'm like, see, there's one common denominator. We just want to chill. she she was like, that's it. Like that's the end goal. I'm like, yeah, that's it. I just want to be on the beach eating nachos, man. That's it. I don't know, ladies. What about you, ladies and gentlemen? You guys got anything you want to do? Just do if you had the free time to do it. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That me personally, that's what I like. I just like chilling. Whenever I'm on the beach, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't go in the water though. I do not go in the water. You will not catch me swimming around on the beach. I'm sorry. Nope. Nope. After learning the types of things that are there on the beach, no. It's the bail. The bail. It's time for the bail. All right. But yeah. After learning the things that are on the beach, I tell you what. Oh, let's take a look over. Let's take a look over here. INLF, INLF. Let's see how INLF is holding up. Oh my, 146%. Nice. 146%. Wonderful. Beautiful. INLF now up 146%. Needs to break the new high a day at $8.06. All right. INLF now up 146%. Needs to break. I mean, honestly, though, I also like just chilling here with the Banger Nation. I love chilling with the Banger Nation. Love chilling with the Banger Nation. You know what I mean? Get some nice. Just chill on the beach too. You know, chill on the beach too. Hang out with the Banger Nation. You know, get a little bit of sun right there. All right, needs to break the high a day at $8.06 for it to be even schmexier to meow. That's nice right now. It is currently up 146%. Pulling back a little bit. It's pulling back a little bit, you know, because it's gotta recoup. It just had a nice big old move, so it's gonna be doing that right there. There we go. There we go. There we are. Beautiful. Boba Beef says, build something and then chill. Repeat. Some surfing if I'm at the beach. Oh, Bobo Beeps, you surf? I didn't know you surfed. What would you build, Bobo? What would you build, buddy? What would you be building? Me? You know, Coach, myself, and DBO Moms and Mama Money do. Like, whenever we get to the beach, we have this, like, big old tent, right? It's this big old tent, right? A little bit of a pain in the neck to put up, but you know what I mean? It's fine when you get it there, right? And you're just chilling there, right? Just chilling on the beach. Big old. It's not even a tent. It's like a little canopy thing, right? So the sun's not fully beating down on you, right? Like some people just use an umbrella. They got those little low lounge chair thingies, right? We got regular chairs there, and we're just like chilling. We got those regular like foldable chair things, not like the metal ones, like the ones that like you go whoop, and they have like the little sack that you just sit in and chill. Yeah, that I like that. I like that. It's a pain in the butt to build, but you know after that part's done, it's like oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. W. Akili asks, should I buy now? Well, I can't tell you what to buy. That's not something I do. I don't do financial advice. I'm not a stock advisor or anything like that. That would be illegal. So do your own due diligence, you know, before purchasing anything in the stock market at all whatsoever. That's just that right there. All right. But no, we don't tell people to buy stuff. We don't do that stuff. We don't do that here. Yeah, we have to, you know, we follow the law. So, yeah, we can't be telling people to buy stuff. We don't do that here. We're just taking a look at the stocks and giving our honest thought process and analysis on each stock. That's it. That's all we doing. Bobby says I surfed poorly and carved pumpkins even more poorly. I mean, I've surfed and I'm okay at it, right? So, there's that. W. Clearly asks, I'll bet my life savings on what you say, friend. I appreciate that, but I don't do that stuff. I don't. That would be very unfair to you. You know, not something that we do. You know what I mean? It's not something we do. We don't do that. You know what I mean? I appreciate it though. I do appreciate that, but no. Stephen asks, when INLF suspended, what does that mean? What?
Might be getting delisted, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing what you're referring to is like it getting delisted. Hold on, let me see. Let me see here. Hold on, let me duplicate this so it doesn't mess with the chart. Because sometimes it messes with the chart a little bit. Hold on one second. Let's get this here. Okay, so INLF as of now, you said it's suspended. I would only guess that that would mean something like delisting. I'm not seeing anything about it being suspended here. Give me a sec. No, actually, it said that it would hold an extraordinary general meeting.
Usually happens when they
I guess
they don't follow.
I think the only two things I could think of when you say like it's suspended are either it's being delisted or it's halted. If it's halted, that just means that the price is kind of frozen for a little bit because the stock market's just going. Well, I normally when these things get like halted, right? I mean, it's not halted though. That's the thing. It's not halted. So it can't really be that. No, no. I don't see it. I don't see it being suspended. I mean, if it didn't file the proper filings, then it would be suspended. That's for sure. But no, it's not doing that. No, it's actually been moving relatively well. So, I mean, it just pulled back a little bit just now because it was a bit overbought in the RSI there. So we'll see what happens. Bobo Beef says, I'm still learning carved pumpkins, at a semi-professional level. I'm still not close. I know how to carve pumpkins. I've done it before. Actually, believe it or not, little story time. I did it. I think it was many years ago. I did it. I did it for a few friends of mine who did not know how to carve a pumpkin. I know how to carve a pumpkin. So basically, it was one of those things where like, oh, Steven says Weeble had it suspended, but now it's moving. Huh.
Oh, that might just be a broker that's not allowing you to trade.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably just a broker not allowing the trade.
That's common.
So
Different brokers won't allow it.
yeah, no, that's common. That is common if like different brokers won't allow that kind of stuff. Sometimes that happens. W. Achilles says not suspended, temporarily halted. No, maybe it's possible. I mean, yeah, no, it's not impossible. It's not a realm of possibilities for it to have been halted.
I mean, right now it's halted because it hit a halt level.
Yeah, it did hit a halt level right there. Like right now it's at 764, so it is halted, sort of.
And we're just waiting for resumption.
Yeah, we're just waiting for resumption really on it. INLF did have a nice move though. I will give it that. It did run up a nice. It had a nice 146% run. Needs to break that high a day at $8.06 for it to really be schmexy to me. Bobo Beef says maybe it's halted, but it could also be his trading platform. It won't allow him to trade it. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. Yeah,
it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. It could just be that the trading platform, the broker, you know. It could just be that. You know what I mean? So it could be that. But yeah, no, it could be that. It could be. I mean, right now it is definitely halted. It is at $7.64. It's kind of just sitting there. So right now it's halted. Definitely, most definitely. But yeah. So yeah. But yeah, no, I learned how to carve pumpkins, Bobo. I learned how to do that when I was younger. And actually, Coach and I did that too. And the other time I learned how to carve a pumpkin, you want to know when it was? Little trivia. I learned how to make like I don't remember what the soup was called, but it was a friend of mine taught me how to make a soup. It was like a pumpkin type soup. It's like a soup that's meant for the fall. It's meant to have like a very, fall-like flavor to it, right? And it's like the soup that you have in a pumpkin. So that it was a recipe there. So you kind of just have to hollow out the pumpkin, and then you put the soup in there, and and like you basically chop up the like inside of the pumpkin, and you just use that in part of the soup. So it's actually really really good. So that was something a friend of mine taught me, a little trivia. And yeah, that's how I learned how to carve a pumpkin, ironically. So there's that. But yeah, no. So yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cash, the big bucks, I tell you. So, yeah, we got a wonderful educational Discord there. All right, and we like to, just teach how we trade and what works best for us. That's normally what we like to do over there because, we don't, give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for an entire lifetime. So, that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. So, that's what we do. We like to teach how we trade and what works best for us. Yesh. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check that out. Be sure to check that out. And also be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel at Coaching Money.
At Coach Money.
At Coaching Money, where we do all sorts of live streaming, stock reviews, stock analysis, long-form videos, short-form videos, all sorts of cool stuff like that. So, be sure to check it out. Be sure to check us out on our X.com, a.k.a. Twitter, at Coaching Money.
At Coach Money.
At Coaching Money, where we do all sorts of wonderful stock reviews and stock analysis there. Achille asks, market just opened, why leave now? Oh, no, we normally leave at this time. Yeah, we've been hanging around here for an hour and a half now, so normally we
Now we go to the Discord.
Yeah.
Join the Discord.
Yeah, we normally join the Discord. We normally go on the Discord and help out here. So, yeah.
We have a link in the description.
Yeah, we have a link in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So, yeah, we normally hang out in the Discord, so, yeah. And again, actually, I'll even put it up here again. 1 second. There we go. Boom. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ooh. But yeah, no, we got we've been here for like an hour and a half, so we are going to definitely we're headed to the Discord. That's what we're doing right now. We headed to the Discord. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check us out on our Twitch at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do all sorts of live streaming, stock reviews, stock analysis there. Well, primarily live streaming. We have our Facebook at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. Be sure to check that out as well, where we do lots of live streaming, stock reviews, and stock analysis there. Be sure to check us out on our TikTok, Tiki-Taki, a.k.a. the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBLNICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Money. Yes. And of course, you can find us on our Instagram and Threads as well, where we do lots of stock reviews and stock analysis at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. And of course, be sure to stay tuned as well for our 1:30 p.m. show, Power Play. Hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he traverses the stock market prior to the Power Hour. All right, so we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. And ladies and gentlemen, what he likes, Coach likes to basically just chill there at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He likes to chill, give his honest review and analysis on the stock market. And once that's done, he lets the stock simmer on high heat with a little bit of paprika, a little bit of sazon, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of tagine, a little bit of turmeric, all that good stuff right there. And he lets them stocks simmer on high heat right there. That's what he likes to do. All right. And, yeah, that's what Coach likes to do there. And, of course, he likes to just get some dubs for the community. In the meantime, he gets some dubs for the community. That's what the Coach Meister General likes to do, ladies and gentlemen. So, and he's been doing quite a lot of that, ladies and gentlemen. He's been doing quite a lot of that. How many dubs did you get yesterday, Coach?
Oh, man, I lost count.
We had a lot of dubs yesterday. I remember that. We had a lot of dubs yesterday. I think it was at least 3.
More than that.
More?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, no. Definitely more than 3. So, we had that going on right there. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, quick thing before we wrap up. If you guys have been watching and you're serious about small caps, don't just sit on the outside trying to piece it together. We've got a 4-day full access pass for $9.99, as well as a 3-month full access pass at a discounted rate of $66.67 per month, charged quarterly. So be sure to check it out. Bobo Beef says joining the Discord is well worth the price. I highly recommend it. Thank you, Bobo. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's full access. So you come inside, you get to see how we actually operate live. You get to see how we structure trade ideas, how we map levels, how we think about risk, how we handle momentum. You get to also see how the next day early watch list, as well as the 24/7 market news flow, which we got going on right there. Market news flow is actually on the right-hand side of the screen currently. It has the hyperlinks to the actual article. It has a synopsis of what goes on within said article, and it even has a hyperlink to the ticker that is affiliated with the news within said article. So you got that going on, all of which is hyperlinks, information at the touch of a button at the tip of your fingers all the time, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, you get access to our scanners, pre-market, regular hours, and after-hours scanners built with the ticker, price, volume, float, change in percentage, whether the stock is moving up or down, as well as the time in which it was scanned, and of course, hyperlinks to the tickers that are actually being looked at on the scanner. So you got that going on right there. All right, with the Catalyst context built right in, and of course, more information at the touch of a button. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you also get access to our ticker tape built to catch stocks when they're starting to heat up, but before they go parabolic. So you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. And of course, those have hyperlinks too, because ladies and gentlemen, this isn't noise, it's structure. And if that's how you want to approach this market, grab the 4-day pass or the 3-month pass and come see it live. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section when you come in. Let us know you saw us on the stream. We'd love to hear from you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, and peace out. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll see you at 1:30 p.m. for Power Play. Power Play. Yeah.